This program is aimed at bringing to the doorstep of viewers the business, financial, and economic activities from all strata of society. Its delivery is accentuated through the various stock exchanges across the world, news about government economic activities, private sector business activities, laced with expert opinions, stakeholders analysis, and correspondence report. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our Atn socials on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, on Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net, or you can watch us live on our website at www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We take a short break, and when we return, we'll fill out the details of our story. Stay tuned.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories, politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. And now on to the rest of our stories. National Agricultural Development Fund, NAFD, has signed a contract agreement valued at $70 million for the direct procurement of 2,000 John Deere tractors. NAFD was mandated by the Federal Executive Council to spearhead the deployment of 10,000 John Deere tractors across Nigeria, with an initial rollout of 2,000 units scheduled for the first and second quarter of 2025, and to scale it up to 10,000 over the next 5 years. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, who witnessed the signing of the agreement between NAFD and AGOMS International Training Center, the legal dealers of John Deere tractors, at the weekend in Abuja, disclosed that in October 2024, FEC approved the direct procurement of 2,000 tractors, 100 combined harvesters, among other mechanized implements. He said that several engagements with John Deere culminated in signing the agreement, adding that the agreement spelled out the payment and delivery date. Kyari further disclosed that program is one of the 4 mechanized programs under the administration of President Bola Ahmed. First one is the Renewed Hope Mechanization Program, which seeks to open up to 25,000 hectares of farmland across the 6 geopolitical zones. He disclosed that the $1 billion program, supported by the Central Bank of Nigeria, is aimed to supply 10,000 tractors, including other implements. The minister added that there is also the procurement of 2,000 Belarus tractors with 9,000 items like planters, plows, among others, and 330 combined harvesters, saying they have started receiving some containers at the Lagos ports, and they have been assured that before mid of March, all 2,000 tractors will be supplied. He said the Green Imperative program is being prepared to go to FEC, saying the program has been around for about 6 years but has not gained traction. The federal government signed an agreement with the Brazil government of about 520 million euros and can attract up to $4.5 billion in investments during the G20 meeting. The executive secretary of NAFD, Mohammed Abu Ibrahim, said the fund engaged with John Deere tractors at the John Deere model farm and has also engaged in very rigorous and intensive negotiations on the terms of this contract before coming into an agreement on the terms and conditions of the agreement. Disclosing that the tractors will be delivered into the country by March, he disclosed that the fund has signed an agreement with the Nigerian Port Authority to enable outcomes to set up an assembly plant inside the port to enable them assemble and deliver the tractors across the country. The country director of Outcomes, Chijoke Okoli, said the agreement is a procurement agreement that contains assembling of the tractors and training youths and local technicians to repair John Deere tractors. He said the total procurement, valued at about $70 million, covers transportation of the tractors to Lagos and Abuja collection centers. Ministry of Works has proposed a staggering 12 billion naira for legal fees and judgment debt in 2025. The ministry, headed by 61-year-old former Governor David Umahi, will spend 5 billion naira on legal fees, 5 billion naira in settlement of judgment debt, and another 2 billion naira to procure vehicles for the minister's senior special assistant. It proposed an additional 670 million naira to buy computer software and consumables for the ministry's headquarters and 37 field offices, while professional development of staff at the ministry will take 800 million naira. Another 18 million naira is set aside for computer-aided equipment and software for the Electrical Services Department. The ministry, which intends to execute about 1.07 trillion projects in 2025, plans to spend 10 million naira in maintaining air conditioning systems and refrigerators at its Kaduna Zonal office. Excuse me. Meanwhile, 300 million naira is allocated for the procurement of utility vehicles for the Human Resources Department, and 150 million naira will be spent on vehicles for monitoring zonal divisions and street light services. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll go on to the rest of our stories.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN. From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
nobody's ambition is what
I have fought a very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody. and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
This momentum highlights a continuation of the optimism seen in 2024. Investors anticipate policy clarity and corporate earnings growth in the coming months. The growth was driven by increased investors' participation in blue chip stocks across various sectors, particularly banking, telecommunications, and industrial goods. Analysts attribute the market's rally to improving macroeconomic indicators, sustained economic reforms, and stability in the foreign exchange market. Also, a turnover of 4.6 billion shares worth 85 billion naira was recorded in 75,562 deals by investors, translating to a significant increase from the 2.6 billion units valued at 69 billion naira that was exchanged in 47,953 deals in the week ending on January 3. This sharp rise in trading activities reflects higher investors' participation and growing confidence in the market. The analysts expect the markets to maintain the positive momentum supported by strategic positioning ahead of corporate earnings releases, sector-specific developments, and policy consistency. According to them, the banking and consumer goods sectors are projected to see increased activities as companies be prepared to announce full-year results and investors realign their portfolios. Despite lingering challenges such as high interest rates and external economic pressures, the capital market is poised for sustained growth. Experts project increased participation from local and foreign investors, further underscoring the resilience of the Nigerian capital market and its role in economic recovery. Analysts at Cordros Capital said, looking ahead, we expect the market to maintain its positive momentum supported by strategic positioning ahead of earnings releases, sector-specific developments, and potential policy updates. Cowrie Asset Management said, looking ahead, we expect the bullish momentum in the local bourse to persist in the coming week, supported by anticipation of fourth quarter 2024 unaudited financial results and preparations for the dividend earning season. Positive state sentiment is likely to prevail as stocks reach new historical highs, bolstered by favorable market valuations and outlooks. Nonetheless, we advise investors to focus on fundamentally sound stocks to maximize returns amidst the ongoing rally. Also, investors will keep a close eye on developments in the macroeconomic space for further cues. Overall, we foresee a volatile trading week across all sectors. Last week's upturn was spurred by bargain hunting in MTN Nigeria plus 21%, and Transnational Corporation of Nigeria Transcorp plus 18.3%, and Transcorp Hotel plus 9.8%. Reminiscing Lagos abortion law controversy and Jonathan's childbirth control, the country may be on a collision course with multiple religions and cultural institutions as well as humanitarian organizations in the coming months, unless it prevails on the National Bureau of Statistics to withdraw the planned inclusion of activities considered as illicit and immoral into the new output competition template. The planned gross domestic product (GDP) rebasing, which is already being interpreted as part of the desperate plan by the current administration to artificially increase the value of the economy, seeks to formalize the $146 billion underground economic activities with a focus on human trafficking, prostitution and smuggling, which the government itself has often described as economic sabotage. A 2022 research conducted by Tariq Karimo, Mohamed Sumala and Ibrahim Wambai and published by the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) puts Nigeria's shadow economy, which includes both informal transactions and other concealed activities, at 58.2% of the GDP, which is currently estimated at $252 billion. Already, the plans, as disclosed by an official of the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics last week, has raised questions about the administration's commitment to stemming the vices. It may also increase the moral burden of governing a complex country as Nigeria on President Bola Tinubu, whose communications office is yet to officially respond to the controversy. However, it is not the first time a government institution will throw up statements that portray the administration as attempting to legitimize or formalize activities considered illicit. Chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Oyedele, also disclosed that illegal funds, laundered money, or proceeds of crimes would also be when the controversial tax reform bills eventually becomes laws. You have to pay tax regardless of the source of the income, and once we find that you have revenue, including from the international data we are going to be receiving, and you cannot explain it, you have to pay the tax. Oyedele said of the plan, which he hopes will be enforced alongside a voluntary disclosure. Grey economies across the globe are worth billions of dollars. However, some governments are skeptical about the unintended signals they send when the activities are included in the computations of the value of the formal economies. Some countries, however, have braved the odds and included on tax activities in their economies. For instance, over a decade ago, the European Union mandated member states to take shadow economies into cognizance when computing economic outputs. By implication, prostitution, drugs and other smuggled goods sold became part of the country's GDP. The policy implementation significantly increased the output level of the region, as Nigeria is wont to experience if the black market economy makes its way into the formal output. Underground economies could increase the sizes of economies substantially. In 1987, Italian GDP ballooned by over 18% on the account of inclusion of the black market economy. It surpassed the United Kingdom to become the 5th biggest economy. Also, in 2013, the value of the dark economy of average EU members was estimated to be equal to 19% of their GDP, according to Professor Friedrich Schneider, a German economist. The ratio of Nigeria's underground economy, some experts have observed, could be much higher considering the pervasiveness of the poverty and greed level, which fuel such activities. whereas the likes of the Netherlands included prostitution in its GDP much earlier than the rest of the EU members where such is legalized. Some countries capture the dark economy for data comparison and analysis. For the first time, Nigeria is toying with the idea of formalizing prostitution, a social vice with huge religious connotation, smuggling and human trafficking in what the government's critics have described as desperation. Report by the Nigeria Governors Forum (NGF) has revealed that state governments allocated a mega 1.22% of their health budgets to medical equipment over 2 years, raising concerns about the prioritization of healthcare infrastructure across the country. The review of health sector expenditure from 2021 to 2023 showed that the bulk of health funding, 61.83%, was directed towards public health services and administration, leaving critical areas such as hospital services, outpatient care, and research underfunded. Medical appliances and equipment were among the least funded, despite their essential role in delivering quality health care. In 2022, total health spending across the 36 states amounted to 505 billion naira, a slight increase from 484 billion naira in 2021. While the 2023 health budget rose significantly to 923.31 billion naira, an 83% increase. Budget performance historically lags at around 63%, meaning actual spending may fall short of projections. The report also highlighted structural issues in state health budgets. Nigeria has secured $7.6 billion in investment interest at the Africa Investment Forum 2024, which took place in Rabat, Morocco from December 4 to 6, 2024. The announcement was made by the president of the African Development Bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, in a post on his X, formerly Twitter, account on Saturday. Dr. Adesina expressed optimism about the potential impact of the investment interest, highlighting the presence of several Nigerian state governors at the forum. I am delighted the Africa Investments Forum 2024 mobilized $7.6 billion of investment interest for Nigeria. It was great to have several state governors, Lagos, Kaduna, Katsina, Kwara and Plateau, and later Ogun. We will keep working to support and boost investments to Nigeria, his post read. The Africa Investment Forum, established by the African Development Bank and its partners, is a platform that seeks to fast-track investments into projects across the continent. Last year's event attracted over 2,300 participants, including global investors, African business leaders, and government officials. The forum facilitated $29.2 billion in total investment interest for various projects across Africa, ranging from energy and infrastructure to agriculture and technology. $7.6 billion investment interest for Nigeria signals a strong vote of confidence in the country's economic potential and the reforms being implemented